In this video, I'll be reading part 2 of Can I Stay With You? So, here we are. Jackson shocked. Your brother's my sister's manager? Do I know him? Jerry informs. Yes and yes. My brother's name is Rico. Wait, as in, heyo, it's Rico. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at impressions myself, so I'm trying. Jerry informs, yes, and that's not a half bad impression. Because I feel like Jackson would do a better job than I did at that impression. Alright, Jackson says appreciative, thanks. Also, small world. Man, it's weird that we both know Rico. Jerry agrees. I know, crazy, right? 5 years later, at the Wasabi Warriors dojo. Man, we have to stop this. Kim notifies, man, we have to stop this feud between Ty and Rudy. I mean, the Black Dragons aren't even competing anymore. Come to think of it, why aren't they? They never give us really a reason that the Black Dragons aren't like competing in the last season, but they're just not competing anymore. So here's what I would imagine would be the reason, but it wouldn't make sense because, well, you'll see my reasoning, but had they done it at the time, it wouldn't have made as much sense. But anyway, so come to think of it, why aren't they? Jerry suggests, anyone who wants to know, come with me to Falafel Phil's bowling alley. Don't remember what the name of his bowling alley is called, so we're just gonna go with that. To hear a secret about Rudy and Ty. So all but Rudy follow Jerry to the bowling alley and are sitting at the booth now. Jerry explains, now I'm not technically supposed to tell you this, but Ty and Rudy were never enemies. All their arguments have been staged. They did that all because it would make more sense for them, make more sense if they were enemies than besties, which, fun fact, they are. Wait, how do you know all this? Asks Kim. Jerry confesses, remember a few years ago when I stayed with Rudy? Kim understandingly says, yeah. Jerry reveals, turns out he and Rudy aren't just secretly besties, but also secretly roommates. Wow, that's crazy. Kim realizes, wait, why did the Black Dragons quit competing? That I don't know. We'll have to ask Rudy. Kim points out, you realize if you do that, you're gonna have to tell Rudy you spilled the beans. Jerry, second guessing himself, he probably wouldn't do that, the character, but, you know, whatever. This is my story. We're gonna go with it. So Jerry second guessing, then maybe I won't ask. Kim beggingly says, please, we want to know. Jerry agrees. All right, fine. So the group heads back to the dojo. Jerry nervously says, hey, Rudy, we were discussing the feud between you and Ty. While discussing ways of ending it, I let it slip that I knew the truth. I'm sorry, Rudy, says Jerry. Rudy madly says, I thought I could trust you. Jerry acknowledges, and you still can. I only told them about you and Ty's relationship and nothing else. Kim shocked says, is there more secrets you haven't told us yet? Rudy reveals, yes, my real name is Jackson Stewart, and the celebrity Hannah Montana is my younger sister, and Robbie Ray Stewart is my dad, but I didn't get the singing talents like the rest of my family. All of them say, wow, in unison, shocked unison. Kim points out, I didn't have you pegged as someone who would be related to a celebrity, but that's so cool. Rudy informs, it isn't. Anytime press or reporters want to talk to you, it's only about your family. They don't want to get to know you, just your family. Which is why I haven't been home since. Kim quickly does some mental math in her head and realizes, wait, you haven't seen your family in 10 years? Jackson reveals, nope, too many press and photographers. Kim, confused, says, What about a video chat? Jackson tells, and risk a nosy photographer finding out where I live now? No way. What about a phone call? Someone could record my voice, then use that to somehow track my phone, so no. Yes, I make Jackson - Rudy a little more paranoid and anxious in this, but whatever. Then use that to somehow track my phone, so no. Kim asks, what about a simple text? Jackson reminds, and risk getting catfished and or someone hacking my phone? No way. Again. Hacking the phone. Kind of thing. Kim recommends, why don't you write them a letter? Jackson explains, seems like a great plan until a superfan looks through the mail on either end. Believe me, there's no way of contacting them without someone finding out. And I moved here overnight, so there are people in Malibu looking for me. That's why I can't contact them, or go back there for those reasons. Kim suggests, well then, what if they came here? Jackson informs, look, I know you're only trying to help, but it doesn't matter how sneaky they were, paparazzi would still try and follow them. Believe me, I've gone through all the scenarios in my head. Nothing works. And I've learned to deal with it. So you're going to have to as well. Sorry, but that's the truth. 10 minutes later. Oops. I forgot an M in MMJ. Okay. 10 minutes later, they remember something. Do you happen to know why Ty closed his dojo? Asked Jerry. Rudy reveals, oh, you probably didn't know this about him, but he's a dad. Says Rudy. Jerry, shocked, says, really? Jackson confirms, yes. A few years ago, his wife was in a car crash, and then he had to decide between being the dad his daughter needed or continue running his dojo. Blah. Obviously, he picked the role as a father, and since he couldn't find anyone to take over his dojo, they had to close it, or he had to close it. All absorbing and processing. Wow, we had no idea. After 30 minutes of letting the info sink in, Jackson prioritizing, well, let's get back to practice now. After practice, they go to Rudy and Ty's for a barbecue. The students give their condolences to Ty and Sid, and they all enjoy that there are no more secrets between them. The end of Can I Stay With You? I hope you enjoyed the story. What inspired this fanfic? I thought, what if one of Rudy's students had to stay with him, unaware of the events that happen in my fanfic titled Jackson Leaves Malibu? And that's what inspired this fanfic. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. Edited and final spell check from April 13th, 2025 at 4:55 p.m. to June 6th, 2025 at June 6th, 2025 at 6:56 p.m. So I hope you enjoyed this story, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching.